What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I wanted to do something a little bit different, talk about a slightly different topic on Ghost of Yotei, a game I do definitely like talking about. I want to talk about the most important part of this game, if the game is going to be legendary, if the game is going to be a Game of the Year contender, or to be honest, I mean, look, there's labels. People label stuff, and people might not like labels and all this jazz. Here's the deal. How can this game match Ghost of Tsushima? How can this game be better? How can this be one of, if not the best game, of the entire year? What does it have to do? Well, there's a lot of things I have a lot of confidence about in this game. We talked a couple days ago, even there was that 10-minute trailer they posted, very Hogwarts Legacy-esque, which I love, and it was simply just showing off, or gloating, I would say, in a good way, gloating not in an evil kind of way, gloating of like, hey, this is a beautiful freaking world. We made it for you, and you're going to watch it. You're going to watch the waterfalls. You're going to watch all these colors and the flowers and the trees, and you're going to listen to our amazing music, and you're going to like it. And dang it, I do. I really do like it. So, and I say that. I say that partially as a joke, but also, like, that is, I think, one of the game's strengths. And I've said it a few times in these videos covering Yotei. Like, I've gone back the last couple weeks, and I'm still making my way through Ghost of Tsushima. Again, I haven't actually played it since Icky Island came out, so this is really my second time going through it. Amazing game. And it gets me thinking, honestly, because, you're playing it, and Yotei, I think, is going to be very similar. I mean, we're not blind. We can see the videos and all the stuff that's going on about it, and does it look very similar? It does. It looks similar in the way Spider-Man 2 looks similar to Spider-Man 1, or Ragnarok to God of War, but where can the game improve, and where are kind of some of the weaker spots to it? So, enough dancing around it. It's the story. It's the story and characters. Those are the two wild cards. That's how I think I would say. Maybe, the video title might change depending on how crazy I go in this video, because I really think I have so much, again, this is just my personal opinion, I have a lot of confidence in them in many, many things. Sucker Punch, I think, is one of PlayStation's best studios, if not its best, to be honest with you. Definitely top 3, let's say. And, when it comes to the combat, I think the combat's going to rock. When it comes to the visuals, I mean, it speaks for itself. And that's something I think you can kind of judge it ahead of time. You can't judge performance, right? We've seen many games come out in shockingly terrible states. So sadly, you can't really just check that off and say, oh, there's no reason to worry about the performance. No, sadly, every game, I guess, you have to worry about if it's going to break on day one or not. But, okay, besides that, visuals, nail it. Music, nail it. I'd say, like, when I say visuals, I guess I would say environment, and I would even go so far to say, like, they've really talked really nicely, like, I've bought in on this idea of how they're changing a lot of the side stuff. So you think about Ghost of Tsushima, checklisty. I actually liked it. I mean, not everybody liked it, but, they've said it multiple times, and Nate Fox even just said it a couple days ago. It's a game that there's more side things to do, and because there's more, you do them less often. And I think that's literally my blueprint of what I've been saying for like 3-4 years on this channel of what you do with open world games, right? I mean, like, there's only a couple remedies to that bloatedness kind of thing that goes on, and it's either don't make your world so big or have so much in it, or you actually almost have so much stuff, but you lessen the repetition, right? So they've talked about, like, the fox dens and the bamboo strikes. Like, I freaking love the bamboo strikes in Ghost of Tsushima, and what he has said is there's less of them, right? Because now maybe there's 10 things to do versus in the first game maybe there was 5 or 6, right? Now, because there's 10, you can do them less often because there's more of them, right? So I think that's perfect. So I'm just kind of, rifling down the things I think are going to really work. I mean, look, a lot of Ghost of Tsushima is fighting. A lot of it is sneaking around and stealth and the different stances. Now it's the different weapons and I guess technically arts, maybe, if you want to call them, right? So a lot of that stuff I have an insane amount of confidence in. I have confidence in, again, the lessening of repetition. There's just two things, right? And it's the story and it's the characters. And now I will say, and this is why I'm very glad and why I like going back to replay these games. Remember, I have a whole channel called Podcast Now Back to the Past. If you guys want to check it out, I'll do a retrospective on Ghost of Tsushima on that channel. So subscribe there if you want to see that. But I do like doing it because it reminds me of things that I didn't really think of too much when I first played it. And the number one thing, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, the number one thing in Ghost that I didn't know how much I liked it is those side stories, the side characters. And, like 1 of 9, 2 of 9, 3 of 9. They are so freaking good. I would also say just the overall like family dynamic and Jin breaking kind of from this tradition, like what does it mean to be a samurai, right? And him having to do things that would be morally terrible, like really to that group, right? But he's doing what he has to do to save his uncle. So I love that, okay? Those are really the two, and you know what, with the theme, right, what they have in common, it's the story and it's the characters. They are far better than I remembered them being, okay? And I loved the game when it came out, but I loved it just for different things. Now, I mean, you go around on a horse and you look at the wind and you look at all the different colored flowers. Like, it is one of the most beautiful freaking games you'll ever see in your life. I mean, they absolutely nailed it. Infamous was always pretty. Sly Cooper has aged insanely well because of the art style. So, I don't expect anything different, to be honest, but when it comes to that, yeah, and that's where, again, like Yotei, the thing is Atsu has a upward climb, like not doing Jin. It's going to be something that I don't know if it'll haunt it, but it's going to be something that hangs around, right? Where you're going to be saying for a while, okay, so how is this going to compare to Tsushima? And you probably would have had those same like talks as well if you did Jin, but now the spotlight's on her, right? Because now it's like, okay, like a lot of it's going to be samey with, additions here and there, improvements where they need to be, but now you got a different character and you're starting from scratch. So now it's really, the stage has been reset, right? It's like, okay, Jin's a really great character. Again, I think a better character now than I remembered him being back then. So it's like, okay, well, now she starts at 0. So can you get her to say, 100 where Jin was? That's pretty difficult. And I will say, and they've hinted at this, they've hinted at it, the overall theme of this game starts as revenge. Nate Fox just said this on that Min-Max interview. Now, I like that. I like the way he said it because he's hinting that there's more. Because up until this point, and I think we could all assume there's more because that is a pretty cliche thing. And I don't think that the game could possibly outdo the story and characters of Ghost of Tsushima if they just do that. If it's simply these Yotei 6, which I do love that idea, Sly Cooper and all that jazz, if that's all it is, these 6 people, you're hunting them, and it's just a quest for revenge. We've seen it. We've done it 100 times. It was a big part of, say, The Last of Us Part 2. And hey, you know what? Last of Us Part 2 is very divisive, but it was a revenge story, but then there was a lot of layers with Abby and with Ellie in that revenge story. Now, there are layers that some people liked more than others, right? But there was more too. And I can respect that because, again, even for Last of Us Part 2, a simple revenge story doesn't really work. Like, it works, but it doesn't take it to, like, legendary status because we've done it 1,000 times. You always have to add something a little bit spicy, to that mix. And that's what, they're not going to say it, and I don't expect them to say it, but that's the part that's the make or break for me for this game. And that ties to Atsu. Like, there's not even too much you can say about her because most of it, I think, revolves around the plot. Most of it is, okay, she's out for revenge. We're going to have all of these flashbacks, right? That's a big part of this game. You've got to, like, they have to go all in on this character. She's got to be super likable, and then she's probably has to go through stuff, right? And there probably has to be some twists that we don't know about yet, that we don't see coming. Because, again, simply going after 6 characters and going through their quests and taking them out at the end of the quest, will it be serviceable? Of course. And I think everything else is going to hold the game up very, very high. I think everything can get this game to like an 8 out of 10 easily with its eyes closed. But then, okay, well, what, again, that's why I wanted to make this video. Well, what separates this game from a good game to one of the best games of the year? Well, it's that other part. It's, okay, can you have characters that are as well-rounded as really the supporting cast? I'll say this, any character really that had quest numbers in the first game, they were all super cool. They were fun. Well, they were fun, like, not necessarily like they were all like cheery and like, perked up, but they all had something very unique about them, and they were all very, very interesting, right? And they had such great arcs that were told over like 7 to 10 missions in them. Okay, you have to do that again, and we have to hope that they're able to do that storytelling to a similar, if not better, degree. And then, like I keep saying, the thing is, it is hard, I think, to outdo Jin, because it's a different story. No matter how many layers you put on a revenge story, I'm going to be a bit more skeptical. I'm not going to say that it can't do it. That would be foolish, okay? Because it absolutely could. But to go in like assuming, oh, it's got it in the bag. Well, to be honest with you, it's a pretty complex story in the first game, and it's something that honestly, and again, like this is something I've kind of learned upon playing it a second time. You don't get it that much. Like it's so much about honor and like believability. Like you really have to believe that this world is alive and these characters and the codes that they follow are around. Because if you don't really follow that, it probably kind of loses you, to be honest with you. The story beats of Ghost of Tsushima, it's deep. Like it's not so simple. Revenge is very simple. Now that can be good. That can absolutely be good. A more simple plot could actually be better. So we'll see how Atsu does. We'll see how the Yotei 6 does. Like maybe they're spectacular villains. Just wanted to, again, try to do something a little bit different in this video format. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.